As we come together this morning, let's set our intention for our future awareness and repeat this prayer together. Infinite mind of God fills my awareness with all the right ideas, all the people who come and will come to Unity Halton Peel. We gratefully follow the guidance. It is so, and so it is. Thank you, God. Permission together to lovingly inspire transformation and be of service to the world. And Evelyn is going to read in the place of Ruth Ellen this morning. So go ahead, please, Evelyn.
Yes, and the title today is I Am a Living Expression of God. In the book of Exodus, Moses asks God his name. God responds, I am who I am. I am is the name of the divine presence within me, a reminder of my spiritual nature. Sometimes I may forget my divine identity by thinking of myself as weak, incapable, or unfortunate. If I have spoken disempowering words about myself, I release those thoughts and stop using those words. Each time I say I am, I strengthen my awareness of the truth of my being. I am God's life, love, wisdom, and strength, expressing uniquely as me. As I pay attention to my thoughts and words, I am able to recognize and release limiting thoughts more quickly. My awareness of my true identity grows stronger and stronger. And from Matthew 16, verse 15, he said to them, But who do you say that I am?
Amen. And Jane, could I ask you to lead us in an opening prayer this morning?
Yes, I would be happy to do that. Let's take a moment, everyone, and just settle into this moment, the sacredness of this moment, as we open ourselves to the greater expression of love on this sacred day where we honor motherhood. We want to open ourselves to that love. And we give thanks for this time together, for the work that we do in bringing love to our planet. We just open to that knowingness that each one of us is here to be the one to make the difference in our personal world, becoming the presence of love in action. And for this time together, for this work that we do, we dedicate this time to being the change that we're seeking in the world. And for this, we are eternally grateful. And so it is. Amen.
And our first song today is I Release and I Let Go with Michael Goff. Love this song.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged.
Oh no.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it all go. this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. No more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
That's terrific. So, James, it's your turn. Go ahead, please. I'm gonna change the view so we have just you. Is that- Ah. Your mic is muted, James.
There we go. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to you all. This is a special day. And you know, in years gone by, before the age of cell phones, Mother's Day has been recorded to be the one day of the year where more phone calls have been made throughout the world than any other day. Did you know that? And of course, today, we get a lot more high tech with that, don't we? We're FaceTiming and Zooming with our loved ones. My kids and grandkids all live on the other side of the continent from where I am. And so we stay in touch through this. I mean, thank God for some digital ways to stay connected and to really appreciate each other and the gifts that we bring to each other's lives. A young boy in the first grade was asked why God created mothers. He said, she's the only one who knows where the Scotch tape is. So, show of hands, how many moms here know where the Scotch tape is? It's kind of in our DNA, isn't it? Yep, we can always find it. And but there's many gifts that we bring. It's not just about the Scotch tape. And I was very close to my mom. This is one of my favorite pictures of her when she lost a whole bunch of weight and was my brother, my youngest brother, promised her that if she reached her goal weight, he would buy her designer jeans and here she is in her designer jeans. So pleased and proud of what she accomplished. I was very close to my mom. She was my best friend. She was always my best friend. She was my biggest cheerleader. She always cheered me on. She was very nurturing, caring. She was a listening heart I could always talk to. And she had a laugh that would stop conversation in the room. Some of you know my mom and my dad. Patty was showing a picture of my dad earlier. They were very involved in Hamilton Unity for years. Well, Mom died in 2007 after a very long and painful bout with cancer. And by the time she passed away, it was almost a relief and a blessing for us to see her not suffering anymore. She suffered greatly, terribly. It was excruciating, especially her last 6 months, just in total pain. And the 17 years nearly since then, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my mom in some way. I'll hear something, I'll see something, I'll read something, and she'll just pop into my mind with great, deep fondness. So she's greatly missed. She's greatly missed. And there are times I really wish I could talk to her. Why aren't there cell phones in the afterlife? I've thought that so many times. But whenever that sadness does arise, I don't push it away. I embrace it. I welcome it. I stay with it until it passes, and then it becomes eclipsed by total gratitude, just gratitude that she was in my life and for as long as she was. But I remember the first Mother's Day I went through after her death. I was not prepared for how sad that experience was going to be for me. In fact, it totally caught me off guard. And it started the moment the cards appeared in the stores. And I remember walking into one particular department store and being confronted, and that's the word I would use, not greeted by, but confronted by this sea of pink, and realizing the Mother's Day cards were out, and it nearly took my breath away. It was just so difficult for me. And I'd always chosen her card with great mindfulness and care every year, very particular about getting her the card that I wanted to say what I needed to say. And I almost needed to stay out of the stores until the season had passed. In fact, it took me a few years to be able to just breathe through it and be able to celebrate the day in its fullness without, being overcome with grief. So what I want to say is that my heart goes out to anyone who may be struggling today. This maybe because your mother's passed on, or maybe there's an estrangement of some kind. This is a day that can be very charged with emotion for a lot of people, depending on what your relationship to your mother or to your children might be. It can be a very complicated relationship. Wouldn't you agree with that? A police recruit was asked on an entrance exam, what would you do if you had to arrest your own mother? Well, his answer was call for backup. Very wise young man. So, our relationships with our mothers and with our children, there's a lot there that can get in our way for Mother's Day. So I just want you all to hear that I have great compassion for anyone who may be struggling in some way today. Mother's Day began in 1872 after the horrors of the Civil War, the American Civil War, with two women, Julia Ward Howe and Anna Jarvis. And the original purpose of Mother's Day was much more about mobilizing women into activism for peace. Did you know that? It was all about mothers for peace. And the day eventually morphed into a celebration and honorhood of motherhood. But I love that connection, that the gifts of motherhood can, and I believe will, bring peace to the world. So that's kind of where I want to go today, is looking at that. The gifts of motherhood can bring peace to the world, because it was with that realization of that connection when Mom died that finally enabled me to stumble upon something very empowering and very healing, and I believe a key insight into bringing peace to our planet. And here's what it was: the loving compassion. Oh, here we are bringing peace. Sorry, that's the loving compassion that I was missing from my mom was within me all the time, right? And what I was looking for outside of myself could be found in my own heart. In fact, could only be found there. And I saw that the spirit of love that had moved through my mother all those years and expressed through her to me and to the others in the family was the love of God in action. She was being the vehicle for spirit. She was being the way of God in action for us. And right in that moment, I got it, that I needed to connect with the mothering aspect of spirit in my own heart and pass it on. And this can be a way that we can move through any grieving, any sadness, is to really realize that what we're looking for is here, and that it's our work, really, to find it and to share it with the world. That's what we're here to do and to be. The book of Isaiah says, as a mother comforts her child, so I will comfort you. This is the power of the Holy Spirit we're talking about. It's the divine feminine. It's the nurturing presence of God, the spirit of wholeness. And it's the great harmonizer that is within us. It's the healing power of God. It's a gentle, comforting, yet highly restorative power. It's a real power. And in the book of John, Jesus is reported to have called it, this loving presence, the comforter, or the advocate is another word that sometimes is used. And what he said was, it's available to all of us right now, if we'll let it in, if we'll allow that comforting presence of the Spirit of God into us. And then we can use it to bless the world, and it will lead us in that if we'll allow it to do so. You know, when a fleet of ships sets sail, one of them sets the course for all the others. It's called the mothership, and it's the heart of the entire fleet. No matter how many ships there are, it sets the course. All of us have our own mothership to follow, always there. It never leaves us. It's within our own hearts. And when we stay connected to it, when we follow its guidance, we see the world in a much different way, through much different eyes, through the eyes of love. And it blesses our own soul growth to freely give the love that we are. It's part of becoming who we really are. And we can all do it regardless of our gender, you see, whether we're mothers or fathers or aunts or uncles or brothers or sisters or grandparents or step-parents or whatever, best friends, spouses. We all have the ability to give this loving relationship we have with God, the spirit of wholeness, to the world. We have that ability. I recently read a quote from Myrtle Fillmore, often called the Mother of Unity, reminding us that we are a family. We're, all of us together are part of the same family. And every single act of kindness, every gesture of compassion, the tiniest touch of tenderness that any of us bestows on another family member is an expression of divine love in action. So really bring this into your own heart, knowing that when you are being love in action, you are expressing spirit on this planet. Isn't that exciting? Yes is the correct response to that. Now we've all, and then Ernest Holmes, who is the founder of Centers for Spiritual Living, it used to be called Religious Science. He says this, we're all mothers. We're giving birth to new thought or new ideas, new events. We're all doing that. And he asked this question: why wouldn't the same creative power that prepares a mother to give birth to her baby, why wouldn't it also prepare all of us physically and mentally to give birth to new experience? Why would we doubt it? That same power is available to all of us. And we've all mothered someone or something, some project perhaps, or an idea that we have nurtured into being. Maybe we have a cherished pet that we mother, or a garden that we tend, or a loved one that we, are blessing with that energy. Mothering just simply means supporting growth through our love and our caring. That's what mothering is, supporting growth through love and caring. My husband, Gary, has never been described as motherly or maternal in any way. Never would you use those words to describe him. And yet, since we have retired and moved into our tiny house on 20 acres in rural Washington state, I have witnessed him nurturing an organic garden into prolific blossoming. I've seen him kindly and lovingly taking care of our dog Jedi from puppyhood on. I have witnessed his mother hen attentiveness with our chickens. They follow him around the backyard all the time, knowing he takes care of them. He can be trusted. And it's a side of him that is not really apparent to the outside world. But guess what? We all have that side to us. Think of what in your life can bring out your nurturing heart. Who or what can do that for you? So this is more than a day to honor and celebrate mothers. It is that, but it's also a day to honor that part of ourselves that cares deeply, that cares passionately, that wants to help others who are suffering or in pain in some way. It's a very powerful place within us, regardless of gender. Because there's more to mothering than meets the eye here. I read about a scientist in the University of Wisconsin who created mothering machines for small animals who had been left motherless. And there were two of them. So one was made out of wire, and it had a baby bottle and a light bulb for warmth. And the other was wire covered in terry cloth. And they found that the babies were not responding to wire mom in any way, even with the food. Rather, they would snuggle up to terry cloth mom because of the feeling of connection that they got, you see. And this ties in with our mammalian brain. That connection is necessary for our growth and our development. And the good news is we can all find that connection and that warmth within us. The author Rudyard Kipling said, "An ounce of mother is worth a pound of clergy." I love that. So what that means to me is that loving each other is the best way that we can grow spiritually. It's how we do it. You see, this is the real power with the spiritual community like this. That love and that support can lift and carry us through all of life's challenges. But we have to discover where that is within us. We have to get still. We have to go to our hearts, feel the love of God, and allow it to move through us. It's so important to take that time to do that. My talk title is Mum's the Word. Did you know this phrase is taken from a Shakespearean play? That's where it comes from. And it means don't speak, no words. It actually means m's the word. Not mum, but And that's how we connect with that gentle, loving presence. Mum's the word. Go into the stillness, go into the silence, go into those quiet times of heart-centered prayer. And as we do, we go back to the source. We go back to feeling the presence of the Holy Spirit in the silence, in the silence. So we need to take time to connect and experience the Spirit within us and find the beauty that's always there. It never leaves us. And then let it guide us in our journey. See, this healing presence, it comforts us, it nurtures us, but it also gives us the roots and wings that we need in order to grow and become who we truly are, And we have free will as to how we will use it, you see. So our challenge is to remember that. Remember that we have the free will to do what we're here to do in the world. But if we take the time to go within and connect with the mothering aspect of God, now we can be nudged into being who we've come here to be. See, it won't ever force us to do anything, We have roots and wings. But being rooted in spirit means that we have those wings to soar. It's safe to do that. And that can help us as we move through life and as we bless others in our life. You know, shortly after my son was born, I was a brand new mom. I was living thousands of miles away from my family. I was trying to deal with lack of sleep, severe lack of sleep, all the changes that motherhood had brought to my young life. And while I knew exactly where the Scotch tape was, I was feeling very insecure about other aspects of motherhood. Could I even take care of my son? Would I know how would I know what to do? Will I know what to do? And I finally carved out a moment to sit down and have a cup of tea. And the tea bag had a little piece of paper on the end with a string, and it had this Jewish proverb written on it. God couldn't be everywhere, so he created mothers. Now, as you might guess, I really needed to read that in that moment. I took it as a sign from the universe. The timing was impeccable. And it re-inspired me as to the holiness, the sanctity of the commission of motherhood, the sacredness of caring for another soul, and of trusting spirit to guide as to what to do, how to do it. And of course, we know that God can be everywhere. God is everywhere present. We know this. But it's through our human hands, it's through our hearts, it's through our voices that spirit expresses in this physical realm, right? And so consider this. In order to be everywhere present, God created you. You know, you're one of those pair of hands, and really sink into that, you know, commission that we have been given, you know, and think, you know, I try to imagine in my mind on the other side before incarnating saying, I'll go, I'll do it, you know, send me, send me. And then it re-inspires me to, how can I be the presence of love right here, right now? How can I bring kindness to the world? How can I bring that mothering, nurturing to whatever is happening in my little world? How can I do that right now? And I can feel sort of an urgency to that. And here's the thing, when we follow and choose spirit to express it, we're being the way of God in action instead of in the way. You know, Gary's very fond of talking about that. Are you being the way of God, or are you in the way of God expressing? And the more we align ourselves with love's vibratory frequency that is within us, the more loving and accepting we become. See, aligning with love brings everything into alignment. And the more our life comes into alignment with the truth of who we are, to that extent, you and I identify ourselves more and more with the mind and heart of God and become spirit in expression. And when we go into the silence, when we feel that loving presence of God around us, when we relax into the nurturing arms of spirit, we feel our wholeness. We feel the truth of who we are. We feel our aliveness. And you and I can be those arms for each other, for all of our, you know, for everyone around us. We can be that. When we're expressing kindness and love to others, we are in effect being the vehicle for that comforting presence. You know, Jesus saying, well, we'll send the comforter. That's how the comforter arrives. Do you see it? So think about whenever you've put your arm around someone who's hurting, you know, when you've listened to someone with compassion, when you've spent time just sitting with someone, just being with someone who is grieving. Never underestimate the power of sharing kindness with others. Because guess what? The future of the planet is in our hands. It's in our hands. And if we want to bring forth a more compassionate, kind world for our children, for our grandchildren, for our human family, we begin within. We start here. We go back to the source. We let divine love fill our hearts, fill our bodies, and then we share it with our immediate families first, and then our communities, and then extending it to the world, being love in action, but showing up and starting right where we are. The humorist P.J. O'Rourke said, everybody wants to save the earth. Nobody wants to help mom with the dishes, you see. Making a difference starts right where we are. And birthing a new reality, it takes some work. But guess what? We're up for it. We have what it takes within us to do it. Every single one of us can bring peace and love to our personal world. And we choose every single day, every single moment, whether we will stay connected to the mothership, whether we'll follow that course of love, or whether we'll veer off course. No, we have the choice. We decide every day if we're just going to spend time touching the Holy Spirit, the mothering aspect of God, before we venture out to do what is ours to do, what we're here to do in the world. You and I make the decision right now to choose love, to rest in the arms of the divine, to let love lift us, to let love carry us through all of life's experiences. Do you feel that? Instead of trying to push the river, make things happen, we want to learn to discover, learn to connect with the love in our hearts and really, really discover the power of love in action, because it's there for us. It's always there for us. And we've tried it other ways, haven't we? You know, we've tried force and hatred and all the rest of it. And let's take this time of honoring motherhood and realize Ward Howe, they had the right idea back then. They decided all of this terrible stuff that's happened in this Civil War, we need to bring mothering energy back into our country. This is the idea, and we need to help make the world a kinder place. So let's do that together, right? And so we make this decision to choose love, to be the change we're seeking in the world, to bring kindness where there is none, to bring compassion where there is none. We can be the ones to bring it right now. So are you ready to relax into the mothering arms of God and let Spirit move you? Then mom's the word. So let's get still and do that right now. I'm going to invite us all to just settle into your seat. If you're sitting down, I'm going to sit down now. And first we want to get centered in our bodies. So move your attention to the soles of your feet. And if they're on the floor, notice what that feels like. Being grounded and centered. But just notice the soles of your feet, how they feel. And now move your attention to your hands. Notice how they feel. Are they tingly, warm, cold? Just notice the energy on the inside of your hands. And now if you're sitting in a chair or something that has a back to it, notice how it feels to be supported by the chair. Feel your back against the chair. Now we begin to focus on our breath, letting it anchor us even deeper into this now moment. And with the next breath, imagine breathing right into your heart space. And put your hands on your heart if you choose to help you connect with that space. Follow the breath in and out. Now bring into your awareness someone or something that you deeply appreciate. Could be a beloved person in your life that you love and cherish. Could be a pet that you adore. Could be a cherished memory, something that warms your heart when you think about it. So choose someone or something that activates a feeling of gratitude in your heart. And let it warm your heart. And with each breath, let it expand. And move beyond the heart. Radiating throughout your body. This is a healing vibration of appreciation. Notice every cell of your body being invigorated by this high vibration of appreciation. Responding. Feel your aliveness in this moment. We let it radiate beyond our bodies. We let it radiate beyond the body. As we create an energetic field of this coherent, kind energy. Radiating right from the electromagnetic field of the heart. We let it bless all of those around us. All of our loved ones bathed in this healing presence. And then we send it beyond the heart. Beyond the body. Beyond the walls of your home. Knowing that we are blessed to be the presence of peace and love on this planet. We are the arms, the hands, the heart, the voice of spirit in action. That we are here to be the one to bring this loving compassion and kindness to our world. On this day of motherhood, celebrating the gifts of motherhood, we give thanks for the nurturing, healing presence of God that indwells every heart, that surrounds us, folds us, that lifts us, that carries us, that guides us through every moment of the day. And for the opportunity to be spirit in action, to bring peace to our world, we give grateful thanks. And so it is. Amen.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Ah, thank you, Jane. What a beautiful lesson this morning. It brought back a whole lot of memories, a lot of things, and yeah, I'm missing my mom today. So thank you for all of you who have been mothering me at times, and I embrace you and thank you. So let's turn now to our tithes and offerings, and so grateful for all of you that support this ministry. We continue with the support of your donations, and we give a good portion of our community tithe goes to eating food. And as you know, we're looking for recommendations from any of you of worthwhile charities to share some of that community tithe with. And 50% of it goes to Unity Canada to support our ministries and what they're reaching out to help us build. So thank you so much for that. And just a reminder of how you may make those donations. The easiest way is through the Interact accounting at Unity Halton, and we appreciate your gifts. Thank you so much. And together, if we could repeat this prayer of gratitude and honoring those gifts, divine love now flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give, and all that I receive. And it's a blessing wherever in this world. Oh, thank you all for being here. And next week, we're going to join Unity Hamilton, Unity Spiritual Center of Hamilton, with Reverend Ann, living by inspiring others to fly. That's a powerful vision message there. Looking forward to joining them. So the link that's in your newsletter is not a Zoom link. It is a streaming link. So you must go to your newsletter and click on that. A reminder that Hamilton has 20 minutes of meditation at 10 o'clock. We break for 10 minutes and come on at 10:30. So if you were to clock on early, it would appear that you're into music and a sacred time. If you come on at 20 after 10, there won't be anyone there to greet you. Start their service immediately at 10:30. So there was some confusion the last time and people weren't sure where they were. So I thought I'd just clarify that for you. The up and coming classes that are being offered, this is a course that Wendy Carr is facilitating, and it has CEE credits. She's studying the book of Revelations and other books of the Bible, but particularly people are asking for credit classes, and she's been very excited about having 2 people ask, and it's grown to 12. So you're welcome to join her whether you want credits or not. And we have upcoming the calling. These are all part of the spirit group happenings that are available. You can get registered for these through unitycanada.org. And they have links there for all of them. We also will have those links on our website. 5 principles, which is always an interesting study. And this is being presented by several of the LUT participants. And again, sharing wisdom. These are all spirit groups that are coming. They're available now. And Wendy back with what's so good about the good book. Is studying the Bible, metaphysics, and laughing. Bob and Charlie, or yes, I got you right. Unity Prayer Chaplain. Thank you, Diane Riley, for being with us this Sunday and every Sunday, and I appreciate your commitment to us and your ability to pray with people as they have needs. Diane can be reached by email, prayerwithdiane@gmail.com. And please don't hesitate to send me a message or a phone call if you have an urgent need. Silent Unity is always available 24/7, and you'll find their telephone number at the end of the newsletter and on our website anytime you need it. Let's take a moment to bless our children this morning. After all, our children are who made us mothers. So, children and youth of Unity and of the world, we love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. And so it is. I'm grateful for my children. And together, the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am present wherever we are. God is. I am divine. And as usual, we'll close with our closing song, Sue K. Riley and I Choose.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Peaceful our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love.